Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Geography Guru. This is the third and the last episode of class 12th Geography chapter number 3, population composition. So far in this chapter we have discussed about the various aspects of the population, such as in the first episode we tried to understand what is this term population composition. We also analyzed sex ratio and why it is unfavorable in most of the countries of the world. And in the previous episode, we tried to understand about the age structure and age sex ratio or the age sex pyramid. In this third episode, we are going to understand or we are going to discuss about the literacy rate, urban rural population and about the occupational structure. Let's begin. Rural urban composition. The division of population into rural and urban is based on the residence. This division is necessary because the rural and urban life is quite different from each other in terms of livelihood. Most of the people in rural area, they are engaged in the primary activities such as the agriculture, and in the most of the people in urban area, they are engaged in the secondary or tertiary activities. In social conditions too, the rural areas, they are less developed, having the less facilities as compared to the urban areas. And age, sex, occupational structure, density of population and level of development is also vary in rural and urban areas. So they are quite different from each other. We are going to discuss about these differences in detail in the 10th chapter of this class 12th geography. Let's move forward and do discuss about the criteria, how we can say that this area is the rural area and this area is the urban area. Although this criteria is different in different countries, the criteria for differentiating the rural and urban population varies from country to country. In general terms, rural areas are those areas where people are engaged in primary activities. Urban areas are those areas where the majority of the working population is engaged in non-primary activities. If we discuss about the India, the Census Department of India, according to the Census Department of India, any area can be declared as a urban area if that area fulfills the two conditions. First one is that in the first, there are the three sub conditions. First, the area having the population density of 400 person per square kilometer or more. B, the most of the people, means the more than 75% mean working population should be engaged in the non-agriculture activities, should be engaged in the secondary or tertiary activities. And third, the population of that area must be more than 5,000. So तीन कंडीशन होती है. पहली कंडीशन, अगर किसी भी एरिया को अर्बन एरिया डिक्लेयर करना है, द पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी मस्ट बी 400 पर्सन पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर और मोर. Second, the population size must be 5,000 or more. And third, 75% or more वर्किंग मेल पॉपुलेशन शुड बी इंगेज्ड इन नॉन एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटीज. अगर ये तीनों कंडीशन पूरी करता है कोई एरिया, तो वो एरिया ऑटोमेटिकली अर्बन एरिया होगा. सेकंड कंडीशन है, एनी एरिया कैन ऑल्सो बी डिक्लेयर्ड एज अर्बन एरिया इफ दैट एरिया इज नोटिफाइड टाउन एरिया कमेटी, इफ दैट एरिया इज इम्पोर्टेंट मिलिट्री स्टेशन, if that area is very important tourist place or religious place. But this differentiating or this criteria of differentiating rural and urban population varies from country to country. The rural and urban difference in sex ratio in Canada and West European countries like the Finland are just the opposite of those in Africa and Asian countries like Zimbabwe, Nepal respectively. In Western countries, males outnumbers females in rural areas and फीमेल्स आउटनंबर्स मेल्स इन अर्बन एरियाज. अगर हम यहाँ पे रूरल और अर्बन एरिया में एक बड़ा अजीब अलग सा डिफरेंस जो दिखाई देता है वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज़ में एज वी कंपेयर विद अफ्रीका एंड एशिया. इन वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज द फीमेल्स आर इन हायर नंबर एज कंपेयर टू द मेल्स इन अर्बन एरियाज एंड मेल्स पॉपुलेशन इज इन लार्ज नंबर्स एज कंपेयर टू द फीमेल्स इन रूरल एरियाज. वहाँ पे महिलाएं शहरों में अधिक हैं और पुरुष गाँव में अधिक हैं. And females here in Western countries, males outnumber females in rural areas and females outnumbers the males in urban areas. In countries like Nepal, Pakistan, India, the case is reverse. In India, or in Pakistan or in Nepal or in Bangladesh, the males are in large numbers in urban areas because they migrate from rural area to urban area in search of better job opportunities. But in Western countries, people migrate from urban area to rural areas to engage or to do the agriculture or the primary activities. Rest of the population, they are living in the urban areas. So the case is reverse in Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh and India. Here the male are in large numbers in urban areas as compared to the rural areas, or the migration, if we say that the migration trend is from rural to urban area in males, but in Western countries the migration trend is urban to rural areas in Western or in the USA, etc. The excess of females in urban areas of USA, Canada, Europe is the result of the influx of females from rural area to avail of vast job opportunities in urban areas. And farming in these developed countries is also highly mechanized and remains largely a male occupation. So the female in these countries migrate from rural area to urban area, and male due to the farming activities migrate from urban area to rural areas. By contrast, the sex ratio in Asia and urban areas remains male dominated due to the predominance male migration. ये हम पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं कि एशियन कंट्रीज में स्पेशली इन इंडिया, पाकिस्तान एंड बांग्लादेश, मेल पीपल migrate from rural area to urban area in search of job opportunities. So far we have discussed about the rural and urban population. Now let's discuss about the literacy. What is this literacy? Literacy है क्या? सबसे पहले तो इसको समझना है कि क्या होता है. Proportion of literate population of a country is an indicator of its socio-economic development, as it reveals the standard of living, social status of female, availability of the educational facilities and policies of the government. So literacy rate doesn't only just the one of the aspect of the population, it tells us a lot about the quality of population. Higher the literacy rate in any country, it shows the better living standard, it shows the better social status of females, it also give us the ideas about the availability of the better educational facilities in the countries, and it also shows the better educational policies of the government too. Level of economic development is both a cause and consequences of literacy. Level of economic development is both a cause, that if we want to achieve the higher economic level, we need to have the high literacy rate, and it is also the consequences of the literacy too. If there is a higher literacy level, there is the outcome of the higher literacy level is the higher economic growth. In India, if we want to know about the what is literacy, how we can call this one is the literate one. So in India, literacy rate denotes the percentage of population above 7 years who is able to read, write and have the ability to do arithmetic calculation with understanding. In India, if any person is of 7 years or above 7 years can read or write and do the basic arithmetic calculation in any one language with अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज़ नॉन एज लिटरेट. यानी भारत में क्या है कि कोई भी जिसकी एज क्या है 7 ईयर्स और मोर देन 7 ईयर्स कैन रीड और राइट और डू द बेसिक अर्थमेटिक कैलकुलेशंस. लिख सकता है, पढ़ सकता है, थोड़ा बहुत प्लस माइनस कर सकता है, किसके साथ विद अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज़ नॉन एज लिटरेट, इज़ कंसिडर्ड एज लिटरेट, उसे हम लिटरेट मानते हैं. ओके, लेट्स डू डिस्कस लिटिल बिट मोर अबाउट द लिटरेसी. In literacy rate, if we talk about the India, in India highest literacy rate is in Kerala and lowest literacy rate is in Bihar. And India's literacy rate according to the 2011 census, it was 74%. Now let's discuss about the occupational structure. This is the last topic of this chapter and this episode. Occupational structure यानी कि काम धंधे कहाँ पर लोग लगे हुए हैं. द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ऑक्यूपेशन इज कॉल्ड ऑक्यूपेशनल स्ट्रक्चर. अकॉर्डिंग टू the occupation according to the types of work, these can be classified into three categories. Occupation are generally classified into three groups. तीन ग्रुप्स में इनको क्लासीफाई कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट वन इज द प्राइमरी एक्टिविटीज. द प्राइमरी सेक्टर्स इंक्लूड द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल एंड बेसिक फोर्स. प्राइमरी एक्टिविटीज एज यू हैव डन अर्लियर टू इन योर क्लास 9th and 10th too. What is this primary activities? Primary activity means in primary activities people produce anything using mainly the natural resources. Natural resources को use करके कुछ produce करते हैं, such as agriculture, fisheries, mining and animal husbandry, forestry. These are the example of primary activities. So in primary activities we use natural resources to produce anything. And the main activity in the primary activity is agriculture. So this sector is also known as agriculture related sector. Okay. Second one is the secondary activity. The secondary sectors of the economy includes industries. It means in the secondary sector depends on primary sector for its raw material and then use the primary product as raw material and then produce it into more usable and more valuable product. It includes manufacturing industries. So this sector is also known as industry related sector. So this is the secondary activity. In secondary activities we use the raw material from primary sector. It means we can say that the secondary sector depends on primary sector for its raw material and then transform that raw material into more usable and more valuable product. And most of the industries are the part of secondary activities. So this sector is also known as industry related sector. Okay, we can take the example of, for example, cotton. Production of cotton is primary activity. Production of sugarcane is primary activity. From sugarcane to sugar, secondary activity. From cotton to cloth, secondary activity. Third one is the tertiary activity. Tertiary is the sector provides the service to end consumers and to the primary and secondary sector. In the tertiary activities or tertiary sector doesn't produce anything. ये कुछ प्रोड्यूस नहीं करता. इट प्रोवाइड्स द सर्विसेज टू द प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी सेक्टर को सर्विसेज देता है. दैट्स वाई दिस सेक्टर इज ऑल्सो नोन एज सर्विस सेक्टर. सच एज वी कैन इंक्लूड द हेल्थ केयर, टीचर्स वी कैन इंक्लूड हियर. टीचर्स को हम इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, डॉक्टर्स एंड रिटेल सेल्स, रेस्टोरेंट्स, एडवर्टाइजिंग, एंटरटेनमेंट, tourism, banking, law, transportation, etc. These are the parts of tertiary activities. We teachers are here, we are taking the classes. Do we produce anything? No, we are not producing any product. हम product नहीं बना रहे हैं. Same with the doctors, same with the bankers, same with the transporters. So we all are the part of tertiary activities. So we have discussed about that the economic activities can be classified into three groups: primary activities, secondary and tertiary activities. We haven't discussed these activities in detail because in the chapter number 5 we are going to discuss about the primary activities, in 6th about the secondary activities, and in the 7th about the tertiary, quaternary and the quinary activities. So that's all in this chapter. In this chapter we have discussed about the various aspects of the population, that is known as the population composition. That's all in this chapter. Bye bye, have a nice day.